What's going on, everyone? It's New again. Here for you, some Call of Duty Black Ops 2, playing some Domination, this time on the map Magma, one of the DLC maps Magma. Using the PW here, I got the silencer on it, and man, this gun's not nearly as good as it was when the game came out, is it? I think it's just awful. Like, going back and reviewing this gameplay and looking it over before I make the video, this thing gets a lot of hit markers, and it takes a very long time to kill people. It's just a pad gun, but yeah, it's just all, I don't know, introduction. So, the topic of the video is Yoteslaya. And he died yesterday. And to my knowledge, I understand that other people probably have died within gaming, within YouTube. But Yoteslaya is the first YouTuber that I watched, that I was aware of, that I know semi-personally, not very, but semi, that died. What happened was he was in his truck with his friend and his friend's girlfriend, if I have that right, and for whatever reason decided it was an awesome idea to try and jump a train. Not jump a train, but like, you know, picture a train driving down the tracks, and they decided to jump over that little hump in the road where the train passes through the road, and they end up getting hit by the train, and everyone died at the scene. And it's almost surreal. I wake up yesterday, right, man. Being a YouTuber, one of the things I do is I pay a lot of attention to, you know, Twitter and YouTube, and one of the first things I did, like, literally, like, I rolled over, grabbed my phone, like, checked Twitter, you know, saw what was going on, and the first thing I noticed was, I think it was Woody's gamertag was wondering if other people were having uploading issues yesterday, because apparently, people were having trouble uploading, and so I put a tweet out, I'm like, hey, Woody says this, is it true, is, you know, the uploader going up, I'm supposed to do Dear Nearer today, you know, that's, you know, yesterday was Wednesday's Dear Nearer day. And then a couple people said, yeah, it's like that. And then a couple other people were like, maybe you should keep scrolling down your timeline. There's a little bit more important things going on right now. And a lot of people were talking about Yoteslaya dying. And I was like, no shit. Like, there's no way that's true. It doesn't make sense. YouTubers can't die. YouTube channels die now and again, but the YouTuber's not supposed to die. And people were like, started linking me these things, and they seem semi-believable, but, you know, they would send... like 3 died in a collision with a train. 3 people in a truck collided with a train, and, you know, 3 people are dead in Indiana. And they didn't reveal names until they contacted next of kin. I'm like, there's no names here. There's no proof. It was almost as if I was holding on to like this petty optimism that somehow it was all just a lie or somehow a joke, but it wasn't. Eventually, the names were released, and it was Yoteslaya. And I find myself way more attached to this than most people think I should be. You know, throughout the day I kept like sitting there waiting for him just to like wake up, you know. All right, so Yoteslaya and I had a semi decent relationship, I guess. For whatever reason, the guy liked me. I don't know why. He was a really wildly successful channel, a really likable person, and for whatever reason took an interest in me. You know, he sent me a friend request on Xbox Live, and he doesn't even follow 100 people on Twitter, but I'm one of them. You know, he would, for no reason, retweet my videos and retweet my things on Twitter, and he would like my videos and comment on them, all without me ever asking or ever, you know, going forward. You know, usually a YouTuber my size, to talk to a YouTuber of that size, you know, they're like, hey man, can you please do this, can you please do this, can you please do this? No, he just legitimately, genuinely liked me for some reason. And I had the pleasure of playing, you know, Black Ops 2 with him and talking to him frequently on Twitter, and he just genuine great guy. And yeah, I found myself like many times out there just like, you know, this, hopefully before the names were released, they confirmed it was him. I just was holding on to this like petty optimism that maybe, you know, he was drinking last night, because you could tell, you know, they were drinking last night from his final post on Twitter. It was actually a Vine of him and his buddies goofing around, and I thought to myself that maybe, you know, he was like sleeping off a hangover and he's gonna wake up and he's like, no, I'm not dead, that was someone else, you know, that you got hit by a train. But it wasn't. And it's, again, it's still, even today, and, you know, it's been well over 24 hours since I've learned about this, and at first I'm like, it's not my place to, you know, comment on a video such as, you know, make a video discussing something as serious as death and somebody as beloved as Yoteslaya, but I don't know, I feel as though I have some good things to say. And I don't know, he was just a really good guy. He was, you know what's neat about YouTube? is while he's gone, he left behind a YouTube channel and a Twitter account if you want to keep that, and a Facebook account, but the YouTube channel is the key part here. Yoti had over 2,000 videos posted up on his YouTube channel. And what's crazy is that even though he's gone, he can kind of live on a bit through his YouTube channel. You know, his family members can go back, and there is literally more videos on that channel of him than they can watch. You know, if you take the factor in, he did a lot of Let's Play stuff. And Let's Play stuff is usually longer than typical sit-down commentary, things like that. So you figure most of his videos are between 10 and 20 minutes long, maybe even longer. And there's over 2,000 of them. There's well over 20 days worth of him talking. And that's crazy to me. If I were to die today, my family would have over 900 videos on this channel, coupled in with 400 or so on my Let's Play channel. And not a lot of people have that kind of, I don't even know what the word would be, that kind of, it would gift be the word? I don't know. If your family, I'm sure many of you have had people in your family die, or people you care about die. What if there were somehow, 15 days worth of footage of them just speaking that you could hear, and you could, I think that's kind of a special gift. I think that's one thing that might help with closure with his family. And that's one of the worst parts about the whole situation is, Yoti wasn't, he wasn't like me. He wasn't, a single guy with no kids. He, if I remember right, he was separated from his wife, but he did have 2 sons, and both of them are pretty younger, that are now going to have to face life without a father, which is not a good life to leave, I guess, but I don't know. He was a really cool guy. It's funny, as he, on his Twitter account, his motto on there was, live life to the fullest, and he didn't die of a heart attack. He didn't die of, a stroke, or he didn't, get leukemia or whatever. Insert random way to die here. He got hit by a train, which is, it sounds bad that I'm laughing and kind of joking about it, but that's Yoti, right? That's Yoti. And I don't know. It's people want to know maybe my opinions on Yoti dying, and it's not. There are people in the world that when they die, it's a good thing. And Yoti wasn't one of those people. The world is a little less rich for Yoti not being here. YouTubers make a bigger impact than a lot of people give credit for, and I talked to him about this, but he didn't believe me. He didn't understand it. He would just talk to me like, man, I just play video games and I put it up there, and for whatever reason, people like to watch me. And I tell him like, no, man, like, you realize he at the time he was getting roughly 10 million views a month. I'm like, do you realize you could take the Ohio State Buckeye Stadium and fill it 10 times with all the people that watch your videos per month? He didn't look at it that way. He never looked at the amount of people that watched him, the amount of people that took an interest in him, as maybe as deeply, and I'm not even sure how really to describe it. I don't think he understood, and I don't think a lot of people understand the impact that YouTubers have. I wish he could see how many people care that he died. That it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. There's a lot of people in this world. The man, did 10 million views a month. We're 500,000 subscribers. He touched a lot of lives in his time. And I don't think people give YouTubers enough credit for that. All you guys do is play video games. That's all you guys do. But as YouTubers, we have an impact on people's lives in a way that not a lot of people maybe understand. And that sucks that it still seems surreal. It still seems like somehow someone somewhere made a mistake and he's still alive, but he isn't. And this is, for me, the first YouTuber to die. And I remember on Painkiller already a while back, They talked about this. This is many PKAs ago, and the topic of discussion was whether or not the topic of discussion was how will the community react to the first YouTuber death, and I think Woody had it pretty straight on. You know, that person is going to be revered. You know, there won't be many people. There won't be many people with anything negative to say about that person at that time, and they'll just be kind of immortalized within the YouTube community, and that's what Yoti is. And one of the cool things they're doing to try to immortalize Yoteslaya, he was the Borderlands 2 guy. He was the biggest Borderlands 2 channel that I know of. I mean, the man was wildly successful with Borderlands 2 and made really great informative videos. Me personally, I use his Legendary Weapons series so much, and I was addicted to his Craig the Psycho speedrun for a while too. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to contact Gearbox, which Gearbox has acknowledged that they're saddened and in deep regret to learn that Yoteslaya died, because all the things he did for their company, all the things that he did with Borderlands 2, and really making the game more interesting for a lot of people as just a gift he had, because he had like a legitimate passion for the game he was playing. And a lot of people are trying to get a Yoteslaya DLC or a Yoteslaya kind of immortalization within the game. I can't remember the guy's last name, but there was a Borderlands player. He loved Borderlands a lot, and he ended up dying, and his friend sent this letter to Gearbox and ended up getting his friend immortalized as a Vault Hunter in Borderlands 2. His name is Michael something, Michael Madraza, or Michael M something, right? And he's kind of an Easter egg character in the town of Sanctuary in Borderlands 2. If you go in every now and again, like every 1 out of 8 tries or something, you'll find him somewhere, that Vault Hunter, which is the guy's dead friend. His character was built and put into the game, and he's a Vault Hunter, and you can go and talk to him, and he will give you loot and stuff. And people are trying to find something similar that they can do for Yoteslaya. Be it, my idea was maybe awesome to have a statue of him in Sanctuary, or maybe a DLC of him as a Vault Hunter, either in Borderlands 3 or as in Borderlands 2 in this game. I don't know what they're gonna do, but there's gonna be a link in the description to that if you guys, excuse me, if you guys would like to maybe contact Gearbox and let them know that you would like Yoteslaya to be immortalized somehow in the game that he had so much passion for. And one more thing is, her name's Predictable Nova. It's a good friend of Yoti's. And they were working on a project, and that project was to make it so they can have like a t-shirt line for their fans. That was like that was one of the things they were working on before he died. And she last night went through and finished this project and went public with it. And it's a limited time thing, but you can purchase Yoteslaya brand t-shirts and hoodies right now. And the proceeds of all that money that you purchase these clothes for, I purchased a shirt myself, is going to go towards his family, because he does have 2 sons, and that's rough. That's rough. But the world lost a great man, and that basically sums it up. The world lost a great guy.